All right, guys. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to No Rain, No Rainbows podcast. I'm going to air it out right now. This is our second time doing this.
This is our second time doing this.
The voice you're hearing right now is Andrej Suttles. I'll admit, we recorded this before, and we went for how long?
It was about 40 minutes?
42
to
minutes, 45
yeah.
minutes. And imagine the look on our faces when we get to the end and we realized our camera ran out of battery. our recording equipment ran out of battery.
We hit the record button, and it says 0, 1, 2. I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey, last episode, the intro episode, we talked about jumping, right? Not knowing what we're doing. That's exactly what happened. We didn't know what we were doing.
And it's crazy because I remember saying, hey, should we go ahead and record all three just so we can figure out where we messed up? I know we're going to have to record another one.
Yeah.
We're going to have to. And he was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. The last one.
Mm-hmm. You called it, though. Yeah. But that's what it's all about. We kind of make the stumbles, and we're not too proud to admit our mistakes. So take 2. This is episode 2. I challenge you with Andrej Suttles. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrej Suttles here, joining us on the podcast.
How you doing, boss?
Glad to have you, man.
It's good to see you, man.
How's life?
It's good, man. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain.
That's always good,
You know,
man.
no one really listens anyway.
Yeah. You can't complain, but what can we do, right?
Yeah, right.
For the folks that are listening that don't know who you are, give them your story and tell them how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, my name is Andrej Suttles. I went to Furman graduate from outside of Atlanta, Dallas, Georgia. Furman graduate, played football up there. I studied computer science, similar to yourself. Did science education, and after football, not gonna lie, I had 5 different jobs within about 13 months. And I was working, figuring out what I wanted to do, where I kind of felt like I was needed, my position, and I really felt like I really, help other people.
Yeah.
And I get a great satisfaction from that. So I ended up quitting my job after our New Year's vacation, and started freelancing, doing content marketing, doing videography, photography, all sorts of stuff like that. Just helping the next person separate themselves from their competition. And that's kind of where I'm at now. It's really cool because I played football and, broke a couple records, had some fun, and I never fully felt accomplished as much as I do now. Whereas I make a promo video for someone and it's like, like game day, and it's a good feeling, and I'm happy where I'm at. So I'm content, but definitely growing.
Yeah,
it's a process. Absolutely, absolutely.
And part of that hunger, you mentioned playing football and breaking records, still not feeling satisfied. We talked a little bit. You said how competitive you were.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does that competitive juice kind of apply to the real world and the business world?
Yeah, I have a little brother and a little sister. My little brother is 11 months younger than me. My little sister, she's 11, and it's crazy how competitive me and my brother are. I started football at 5. He started at 4. We were on the same team growing up, and it's cool because he's my accountability partner, and he's like a life accountability partner. And I'll make a decision with the business and run it by him, and ultimately he makes a decision. If he's like, well, we should look at so and so, and I'm like, I looked at it, but I'll look again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's good to have him there and have you accountable. And the competitive aspect, man, it's kind of in your blood. You just want more. You just want to be better than the person you're competing against. And I'm a huge team guy. I'm a huge and that's why I do what I do now. Just helping people separate themselves and become more of a pillar in the community. And I don't know, it's fun to still be able to compete at my age, to be able to compete as an adult with other businesses, other marketers, other promoters. So that's kind of where I get my competition from.
Do you think football helps you with that competitive application in the real world? Do you think like football has helped to generate, I don't want to say a leg up, but maybe instill a certain work ethic or something into you?
I would say it is football, but it's more of the team aspect. It's more being a part of something bigger than yourself. Yeah. And with football, what it is you have 11 people on the field. And if one person messes up, it could be 6 points, right? So you have to all be on the same page. And one thing football taught me was accountability. That there's 10 other guys, 10 other brothers relying on you.
Yeah.
To do your job. You do your job and you will win the play.
Yeah.
Guaranteed every time.
So it's all about playing your position. And when you talk about a team, right? Mm-hmm. And you're all going towards a common goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
How pivotal is it for each player to play their position?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy because you say that question, but Coach Fowler used to always say, the scout team guys win the games. Because you could have a week of practice where the scout team guys, they don't want to be out there. They may have had ice cream 30 minutes before, they're sluggish, and we're not getting quote unquote good reps. I'm not going against Trey Robinson when I'm out there. I'm going against, I'm not going against the number one guy, All-American. I'm going against, our fourth string, our third string, freshman. And it's cool. It's really cool just to be able to compete and bring it all together as a team aspect, and know that you're competing against someone who's brand new into this. But the effect that he has on that game day is unreal. And you realize it when those key players on scout team, those people who go 120%, they sit out one day. Mm-hmm. You realize how the whole vibe of practice is down. Not just scout team, not just offense, defense, the whole vibe.
Yeah.
And you realize that redshirt freshman, he contributes. He has his role. And
that's what's crazy, because you think about in broadcasting, TV, movies. It's so easy to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that big poster, right? And he's larger than life. But what people don't see is they didn't see the writers that wrote the script. They didn't see the makeup artist that made him look all rugged and scarred up. They didn't see the director that put countless hours into kind of putting the vision on screen.
Absolutely.
The editors. So shout out to everybody in the background,
absolutely,
behind the scenes, because people will see the final product.
They will,
and they'll praise the person that it's surrounding, but they don't understand the amount of hands
correct
that went into putting that together.
It's huge you say that, because as being a receiver, one thing is receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, they tend to get a little bit more praise than everyone else. Mm-hmm. However, it's those big hogs up front, the big guys who really get the job done.
Yeah.
Without snapping that ball, without moving the ball to the quarterback, nothing is accomplished. If you fumble that, it is done.
It all
stop right there. And we protecting the quarterback, the receiver's not getting the ball. Mm-hmm. Without knowing your position, the running back doesn't have a hole. So, we all have roles, and it's crazy. There's some roles that deserve that praise. There's some roles that get it that don't deserve that praise. But knowing your role and knowing that it's a team effort, and knowing that you'll feel a lot more accomplished winning that championship versus just getting a little bit of more playing time, that's when it all comes together.
What do you say to the people that do it for the praise? What do you say to the people who don't want the praise? What's the reason people should do it?
Do it because you do it. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to have a why. You have to have a reason why you're doing it. I did football. It was a vehicle. I played football because it was a vehicle to get me to college, give me a great education. I wanted to go to the league. I had aspirations of going to the league, and I actually broke my leg. The exact same play I broke the record. Exact same play, broke my leg. And, that probably like a month took about 3 weeks to realize that was it. Mm-hmm. Like you don't come back from broken leg, torn labrum.
Yeah.
You don't come back from that. And especially being 5'8", a little bit shorter. And I realized that it was a vehicle, but the resources, the type of man that made me into, the intangibles that taught me the ambition, the accountability, the consistency. I was waking up, going to lift weights 5:30, 6 a.m. for 3-4 years. Like it was nothing. It's clockwork. Just this isn't work. This is part of class almost, And it's to sit back and see now that you put in all that time for those 11 days.
Yeah.
Those 11 games that you play, that's all you're guaranteed. But football ultimately teaches you the intangibles, the life lessons.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh right now, I'd say it was like 181.
How much did you weigh on game day?
When I was playing in college, I weighed 198.
Okay.
198 pounds.
I asked that because I want to talk about work ethic.
Yeah.
5'8", 198 pounds. That's small on the football field. You know, I mean, you're talking about your receivers are 6 foot plus sometimes. Your D-backs are 6 feet. They're pushing 200 pounds. They run a 440.
Yeah, absolutely.
a 440 or whatnot. And
just little legends. Yeah, there's out there.
So you talk about going out there. On paper, you're behind.
Correct.
You know, how'd you close that gap?
Mentally.
Yeah.
Mentally, 100%. Football is, you know, coaches throw around the percentage all the time, but football is way more than 50% mental. Way more. Especially being a receiver, being out there with the cornerback on a quote unquote island, you know, one-on-one. You get into somebody's head and it's completely mental. It's no matter how good you are. You start forgetting your role. You start forgetting that you're a part of a team. You start forgetting and you just want to do one-on-one. It's not how football works. Yeah. And when you can get someone in that mentality, that mind mentality of just competing against you and not knowing his role of those 11 people, it's when you start to get the competitive advantage. So I think it's really cool how I keep saying the intangibles and how, you know, football teaches you winning, but we keep it honest, we didn't win as much as I wanted to at Furman. And to this day, I'm kind of thankful for that. Just because you learn so much more when you lose. You learn your insecurities, where you failed. I knew that those games that I lost, I was looking at my left foot that it went outside my body when I planted, and I could have been half a second faster. So, yeah, I think it really teaches you the little things.
Yeah, and the thing about losing on the football field, you're in front of everybody. Everyone. I mean, people are in the stands with popcorn. They can't watch. A lot of
disappointed people.
But applying that to the real world, a lot of people will. I mean, they'll hold back from trying something new because of what their friends might think, what the outside world, people on social media might think. Because nowadays, what we do, it's out there, it's public. Us having this podcast, talking right now, people are going to hear it, and people are going to have their judgments, and that scares a lot of people.
Their opinions.
Yeah. How did losing on the football field and kind of, you know, failing, if you would, in public, help you adapt into the entrepreneurial world?
It really makes you realize who all is on your team, who all is towards that goal. And I think taking those losses, it, you know, humbles you, but to a certain extent. You know, you never want to let, you know, a bad loss humble you too much. But at the same time, you want it to make you think and realize that you prepared, but you prepared wrong. Be real with yourself. You prepared wrong. And it's okay. That's what people don't realize is that's okay. It's okay to prepare wrong.
What do you take away from preparing wrong?
It's a great question. That's a great question. It's the little things, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The smallest pieces complete the puzzle.
All right.
The smallest pieces.
So in football, it's easy. The goal is win a game, score more touchdowns, score more points than the other team. What's your goal in life?
My goal in life. That's a great question. That's a broad
Andrej
question.
Suttles'
Yeah,
goal right
question.
now. Because goals can change.
Yeah, they can.
And goals can elevate.
They can. You know, absolutely.
If you're listening and you're blessed to reach your goals, please keep setting new ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You should be.
But what's the aim right now,
What's
man?
the goal? So I kind of have two types of goals. There's an end goal, and then there's SMART goals, attainable goals. You know, an attainable goal would be make $50 a day. I'd figure out what I need to do to make $50 a day. Something like that would be reach out to 5 clients. I know if I reach out and cold call these 5 clients, one of them is going to be interested, right? Chances are it could probably, you know, capitalize. You call 25, then you get 5 interested.
Yeah.
Capitalize on one of the 5. So that's what I call a SMART goal. But my end goal, those are things that your SMART goals add up to.
Yeah.
Ultimately, my end goal is to retire my mother. I want her to be my payroll. I want my mom to sign my checks for me. I really do. Just because there's just never a way to repay my mom and my dad, and just what they've sacrificed, what they've been through. I feel like it's the same way with you know, a lot of people. And there's, you know, people's goals are different. There's people out there now whose mother doesn't work. Their moms may be stay at home. We can't have the same goal.
Yeah.
You can't retire your mom if she's not working, right? So and that's what's so cool about people is everyone's different, you know. But we can, it's crazy how we can aid each other and aid everyone around us to make us all so much more successful, so much quicker.
Yeah.
But we all have this shell that we stay in, a little bubble that we stay in that just confines us. And that's why we talked about it. We talked about it before me and you were walking up on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And we walk outside and we see the group of fellas walking, and I'm like, "What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Where y'all headed? You know?"
And I was like, "Do you know them? Do you know them?"
Like, no, I don't know, but I figured if they're looking this way, I can help them with something. Like, there's some way to help someone.
Yeah.
You can help someone in every way, and I don't want to say every way, in some way. And when we realize that, and we all start helping each other.
So I want to get to the I challenge you with
absolutely.
A lot of people in their
kind
bubble.
of what it boils down to,
Yeah, a lot of people in their bubble, and we know your goal, we know what you're going for, and you're the kind of guy, competitive, and you're in your face with it.
Absolutely.
Anyone that follows you on Instagram, they see every Friday. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We're right back at it. Yeah, me and Debo are at it.
Yeah,
every morning.
Debo, the dog.
Yeah, Debo's my English bulldog. Yeah, shout out to Andrej Suttles. He definitely. We're at it every morning.
Yeah. And so, what's the challenge all about?
So these challenges, I do a challenge every Friday. I do a word of the day, Monday through Thursday, and these challenges on Friday are just to, help you act, take initiative, just do something. And there's something very small, like my very first challenge, I want to say was compliment someone. Something very subtle. You literally walk by people 24/7. You see so many people, and just literally stop and say, "Hey, I like that shirt. That's a smooth shirt right there."
I saw it.
And you'll be surprised. Yeah,
a nice watch.
Right.
I stopped in my check and said, "Hey, man, that's a nice watch."
He smiled, didn't he?
He had a pep in his step.
Right? Yeah, he kind of got out there. He was probably swaying a little bit, but no, you'll be surprised how, just that compliment, or not even a compliment, sometimes a smile will change someone's not only day but life. Yeah. You don't know what someone's going through. It's impossible to tell. That's one reason I don't like mirrors. I have one mirror. It's the one that came in my bathroom. I'm not allowed to take it off. It's it's on the wall. But mirrors, they lie. They lie, man. They just tell you what's on the outside. They just tell you what you want people to see. They don't tell you what's on the inside, what you're really about, your why, who you are. And that's where when we start to help people, start to get to know other people, you'll start to realize that.
So it's all about action. It
is, and it's the challenges are really made to kind of bring you out of that comfort zone. There's certain things, like some people, it's really I don't want to say it's a problem that they struggle to speak first and confront someone or say something first. So it could be something as small as, and I'm on there doing it as well. I'm on there selfie doing it with you. And it could be something as small as rolling down the window, literally roll down the window and be like, "Hey, you know how you do, like kind of make like you're kind of talking. They'll roll down the window and be like, "You look nice today." They'll be like, "What?" You'll be surprised. You'll feel good too. You really will feel. It's for you. It's for me ultimately as well. At the end of the day, I started doing the challenges for myself to be able to hold myself accountable. I realized that not having football, I missed that team, that accountability aspect. Me, people counting on me, and I do those Friday challenges to count on myself. The talks to motivate myself, to motivate other people, and say, "Look, I don't have this figured out." These videos, they're not perfect. These challenges, they're not perfect. I don't have it figured out. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And that's an important point though, with the, doing it for yourself. Cause I'm kind of realizing the more you try and selfishly grow, you can only do so by impacting others. I'm walking down the street today, recording a selfie video on Instagram, talking about setbacks and how to keep going. And some lady's walking across the street, and I thought I must have looked crazy. But mid-video, I just looked at her. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" like
just casual, yeah.
Like, "Hey, how you doing?" Right back at it.
You're in my area. You're my area, so I'll speak. Yeah, right.
And she waved. She smiled. Probably had a good laugh. She was going to lunch. You won't believe what I saw. But
just kept it moving.
But naturally, to your point of affecting other people, that could have made her day. It was something she gets to talk about. And hey,
you could have been the only person she's seen that day.
Yeah, and
she could have been walking to the car and You know, you never know what people are going through.
Just a smile, man.
You never know.
Yeah, just a smile. Life's too short to take yourself too seriously.
Way too short, man. You'll realize that when, you know, it's kind of hard to say it, and you realize how much you have when everything's could be taken from you like that.
When did you come to that realization?
Honestly, I know the exact day. It was it was 5 weeks ago. I was on Haywood Road, the Spinks. I was filling up gas, and actually a guy came up and robbed me from my iPhone. And me and his car were the only cars at the station. It was late. I want to say it was like 12:30, something like that. And, you know, I ended up pulling a gun. And it was crazy because at that moment, it was like everything could be gone. And I remember him leaving and swerving off in the black Chevy. It was a black Chevy S10. And
you remember that car?
I remember, yeah. I remember it to this day. I had a license plate number in my head too. I won't say it, but I remember it to this day. Because it was at that moment that I realized I had everything. And I could have had nothing. So, and this was, I had started doing the talks. I was doing the motivational videos. And I remember like the next day, like that following day, I woke up and recorded the video with like an iPhone 5, or I like did it on my computer. And it was just so awful that I went to the iPhone 5, and I remember waking up like so excited, like just literally like with a smile on my face. Yeah. To just do this video. I didn't tell anyone about what happened, but just to be able to know, you know, that this is me. This is what I love. Whether you like it or not, whether it motivates you or not, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me.
You're living.
Living, you know. I'm doing this to help. And it's crazy because I look at myself on the camera, and I'm talking to myself, and it's like, yeah, like you are somebody. Yeah. And I just want other people to feel that you are valuable. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through, you have a purpose. You have value. Other people may not see it. That's fine. They're not supposed to. They have trouble seeing their own value. Yeah. How can they see yours too? They're supposed to struggle with that.
Reminds me of a quote and a lot of people probably have heard it, and it said, I used to be mad because I had no shoes and I saw someone who had no feet. Where it's huge when you talk about you went from thinking you had nothing to realizing you had everything. Everything. Because I feel like so many people are surrounded with what they see on social media or what they see around their immediate surroundings. And they see what they're lacking, but they don't see what they're packing, to quote J. Cole. But I mean,
it's amazing.
If you stop and look around. I mean, the fact of the matter is you wake up with a roof over your head and a pillow under your head.
The ultimate fact of the matter is you woke up.
Yeah. There you go. You even hit it even better.
It's crazy how I did it the Monday, you know, it was a gloomy Monday, but like there's people who didn't, you know, went to sleep Sunday, but didn't get to see that Monday. And we have an opportunity every day. You know, one thing I love that you say is 1%. Yeah. People love just one, right? Just one more. Just 1%. What about that 99% chance of them saying no, right? What about 1% of them saying yes? Yeah. What if you just got 1% better every day?
That's all you need. All you need is 1%. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be major. What about that 1%?
Just 1%. Yeah, just 1%. One step, 1%.
What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Oh, why? Really? Finding a way, the opportunity. Knowing that I have so much and there's more to have, but the opportunity, the competition, the ambition. I keep it honest with you. I don't ever see a day of me not getting up and working. And I say work, but nothing really feels like work when you're helping people and you're doing what you love. Yeah. So I really thoroughly enjoy seeing other people smile, and you know, they're capturing their emotions and helping them reach their goals. That's where I get satisfaction. Not reaching my goals, but helping other people reach their goals.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be a billionaire, but what's a billionaire if I'm inviting my friends and they got to ask off for work and they're like, hey, I can come, but I can only stay for 2 days and I got to leave early. My flight leaves early too. And it's like,
It gets lonely.
Yeah, it gets a little lonely, doesn't it? So I'd rather be a millionaire with 20 other friends who are millionaires.
Yeah. Andre?
It's crazy, man. It's good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Many more to come.
We're going to have a lot more conversations. Anybody listening right now and they hear how helpful you are and they want to reach out, get some help, how can they reach you?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Suttles3, Suttles. Shoot me a message. I'm huge on just take a jump. Just do it. It's literally how I met my mentor, Charles. I just reached out to him and was like, hey, I'm going on a limb, but I love what you do. And you're positive, motivational. You're doing it. And I'm a firm believer in it's, who you're around.
Yeah. And
they can pick you up. So, Instagram, I'm on Instagram. You can reach out to me. My email, my website, Suttlesolutions.com. My email is asuttles23@gmail. Shoot me an email. Like I said, we can sit down for a cup of coffee. It's about jumping. It's about who you know.
Yeah, and I know today's a Friday. This is going to come out on a Wednesday.
It is.
But what's your challenge?
So my challenge today is it's going to actually be to overcome a fear. Yeah. Overcome a fear of some sort, and it may be something small. There's it's a broad topic, but it's doable. Hold yourself accountable, and really hone in on what it is.
Even if
you
it's
may
a fear
not
of like cooking or something.
Yeah, it could be a fear of cooking. It could be a fear of you messing up some fried chicken. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And hold yourself accountable. No, you may not overcome it today, but start on that 1%.
Hey man, always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's your challenge. Overcome a fear. Do something that you're not comfortable with. Be uncomfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This has been No Rain, No Rainbows. Hopefully you guys got some value from this. If you want, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. We're always trying to grow. We know we're not perfect. Always trying to find out how we can best serve you. So with that being said, do your thing. Go out there and grow.